All right, back with you today. I got a box of 1992 Topps. We got 36 packs in this box, 15 cards per pack. The first year of the Topps Gold. Match the Stars game in here. Get one of those per pack. This is going to be the last Topps set that was released as a single series. And then they started doing, Series 1, Series 2, and then Update, so on and so forth. And it's actually the first Topps product that was printed on a white cardstock as well, which I thought was kind of interesting. And there is your pack. There's the back of the pack. Match the Star game. And this is also the first time, a lot of firsts in this. Also the first time that wasn't packed in wax paper. Actually, this loud, annoying. And there is your Stars game. You could, back in the day, for every 100 runs, you would save this game, and then with, I think it was $2 postage and handling or something like that, gave you all the information on the back. I think it was for 100 runs, you could receive a pack of 10 Topps Gold cards. So that was kind of a cool little thing. Get into that a little bit more later there. And here we go. Lee Guterman, Eddie Woodson, Al Ozuna. There is a George Bell. Pretty cool design. Clean, simple, not too overcomplicated. And you only get one gold card per pack. So, all right. First pack yields no Hall of Famers or Superstars, I don't think. I'm going to remember to start my Superstar pack in this. So this also came, let's see, cello you can get, rack packs, jumbo packs. Also had a 500 card vending box that you could grab as well. Scott Lewis, there's a All-Star and Howard Johnson. There's another one of those. Like I said, you get one per pack. There we go. Don Mattingly. Now that will start my star stack of this video. We all know I love Don Mattingly. They also had, factory sets, of course. Topps did. So you can get this in factory set form. Jimmy Jones, Bobby Ojeda, Ron Gant. Another one of those cards. Andres Galarraga. I'm going to put him in the star stack. That is my star stack. You tell me what your star stack looks like. And there is our first Hall of Famer. Nice Frank Thomas there. Sid Fernandez. There we go. We got coming up Ben McDonald there. Mitch Williams. Todd Hundley. Boy, he was supposed to be something, huh? Sammy Sosa. Another one of those match games. Get rid of that. Matt Williams. I'm going to put him in my star stack. Greg Olson. Brady Anderson. Andres Galarraga once again. Where are all of our Hall of Famers? What's going on here? So they also ended up producing a total of, I think it was like 12,000, I believe, Topps Gold factory sets. And I think people say that was kind of a replacement for the Topps Tiffany because they did not make Topps Tiffany moving forward. Oh, wow. It's like double packs here. There's that Matt Williams again also. Interesting. As usual, interesting. Although there were a couple of different cards in that, so the Topps Gold set also contained a, I think it was, what's his name? Brian Taylor there. First draft pick of your New York Yankees in '91. It contained 12,000 of his autograph cards. Sandy Alomar Jr. It's unfortunate that he never played because of a mishap that happened in a bar, and he just messed himself up. The other thing with the Topps Gold set was, I think the checklist cards, the 6 checklist cards, were replaced by 6 players that didn't have cards in the set. So don't remember what those 6 players were. I don't think there were any big names. And there we go. Danny Tartable. As far as rookies, let's see. Chipper Jones has like a prospect card, but it's really a second-year card. I think Manny Ramirez is pretty much the only big name player in this. I mean, Brian Taylor, his first draft pick card would be in this as well, but it's unfortunate. Again, supposed to be a top guy and never made it. But yeah, Manny Ramirez, I think, who else? Sean Green off the top of my head. Those would be 2, players that I would be looking for in this set. And Luis Soho is a nice Deion Sanders there. Put him in our star stack. Pretty rare as far as the gold in this. I mean, think about it. Like I said, it's pretty much the first parallel set that came out. And, to get 1 per pack in this, pretty amazing. Willie Randolph there. I think the Cellos had, what was it? Let's see if I can find that. 1 per 18, I believe the Cellos had. Rack packs were 1 in every 12. As far as pulling a gold, boom, boom, boom. Hey, nice, Bernie Williams. Doug Jones. Really have not come across that many Hall of Famers. I mean, the star stack is nice. Not too many Hall of Famers, though. All right, let's see here. There we go, Barry Bonds. It's a different pack. Feel like we haven't seen these guys yet. Mickey Tettleton, Steve Sachs there, Mo Vaughn. And with Hamilton there. All right, let's see what we can find in this next pack. Come on. Where are all the Hall of Famers? That's what I love searching for. Man. Thomas Howard, Karkovice, Elster, Langston, Mookie Wilson, Cedeno, a Ventura, and a Treadway. Too bad we can't use those golds anymore. We'll try to get packs. We'll get into that in a minute. There's a Hall of Famer and Jack Morris. So with the gold set, they did not make gold checklists. So if someone tries to sell you a gold checklist, it's fake. Here we go. We're starting to get some Hall of Famers in this pack now. Make some room. Feel like I'm kind of... All right. Feel like it was a little bunched up before. So the Match the Stars game there, like I said, you get 100 runs, and then with postage, you'll get a 10-card pack of the gold. What happened was people found or realized that you could shine a flashlight behind it, and cheat the game. So people were adding up their 100 runs pretty quickly. So the gold part of the card, which once we get it, it's the name and then the team logo. what they ended up doing once they found out that people were cheating the system, they ended up writing winner in gold right above the team logo because they didn't want to dilute, the fact that there would be so many gold cards out there. So they ended up doing that. And that's why the winner ones, you'll find a lot more of the winner ones as opposed to the Topps gold cards. So the Topps gold parallel is, I wouldn't say rare because they did make, that's a nice one, Pudge. They did make 12,000 sets of it. So it's not like super rare, but they are definitely rarer than the winner cards. Let me grab my flashlight here and we are going to do this test. Let's see. There was a way that you can look through it. Maybe this flashlight just sucks. But there was a way where you could look through it and see, I guess because when you scratched it, so like this card, you had it, you scratched three to match this, the stat on the side here, which is the 119. And then before you get an out, and then that's how you would reveal your prize and claim your prize. So there was a way that people used the flashlight, which for some reason not working for me, but to check that the stats out and then be able to do it. Maybe I need to do it if it was darker. Maybe the lights on the side that I have with filming is what's not showing up for me. Anyway, let's move on, continue, see what else we can find, see if we can finally hit our one gold card. I wonder if it's in the middle of the pack or on the back of the pack, or I wonder how they did that. At least they're not flipped around too crazy, which that's kind of nice. There is another bonus. Bichette there, and no Hall of Famers in that pack. 92 Topps. I remember opening a good amount of these. I remember for some reason I bought, not for some reason, but I figured, at the time, which he is a Hall of Famer, but Jeff Bagwell, I remember buying his gold winner card at a show. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I know it was more than just a normal card because at the time he was having a hell of a year. Was it Roger Clemens, Dave Justice? Forgot about my star stack. Probably had more people I could have put in my star stack. All right, moving on. Larry Walker on the back there, Hall of Famer. Is that Dennis Martinez, Mark Lewis? Hoping we can at least see the chipper and then maybe find a Manny Ramirez. Chuck Knobloch there. And there's your Larry Walker. Let's put Chuck Knobloch in the stack. Here we go, halfway point. This is where I thank you for watching. If you have subscribed, I do appreciate it. If you have not, please consider doing so. This is what I'm doing on my channel, bringing you boxes and packs from the junk wax era like this right here, showing you what's still out there, what you can still open, what we're looking for, what you can find. Just having fun with it. Lots of Hall of Famers. Still find some old rookies of people. Why go out and get a Manny Ramirez rookie for $1 when you can just buy a $20 box and have fun with it? That's the way I look at it. Kenny Lofton. We'll put Kenny Lofton in there. Boom. Bobby Valentine. Jimmy Key. Chuck Knobloch once again. There's Larry Walker once again. Nice Kirby Puckett. Dave Martinez. And a Saberhagen. $792 cards in the set. Wonder who our gold card is going to be. Possibilities are endless. Ron Darling. There's a nice Tony Gwynn. I'm hoping it's a Hall of Famer. That'd be great. Oral Hershiser. Wade Taylor. Like to see. There's a nice another Bernie Williams for the PC. Although I probably have 100 of those cards. I actually sat down the other day and was looking through my Bernie PC, and I got a lot of his, like, I remember collecting a whole ton of his game used and autograph stuff from the early 2000s. I forgot about some of the stuff I have in there because it's just sitting in a box, and it's so cool to go back and look at some of that stuff. Low numbered, short print stuff. You know, back in the day, it's not like it is now today, where it's like you get a short print, it's like, oh, I got a numbered out of 5. But yeah, there's also a 1 of 1, and there's a numbered out of 5 red, and then there's a number out of 5 red shimmer, and there's a number out of 5 red diamond whatever, and it's just, it drives me nuts now. As Ryan Klesko, put him in the star stack. Daryl Hampton, another Bobby Valentine. Seeing these guys already. Jack Clark there. All right, where is our gold card? That is what we need to know. There it is. Skeeter Barnes. Dang it. It's got Topps gold on the back. Pretty cool. Skeeter Barnes. Not a Hall of Famer, but there is our parallel card. Hey, the light picks it up nicely right there. Skeeter Barnes. All right. There we go. Ken Griffey Jr. Too bad that wasn't the gold. That would have been pretty cool. All right. Well, my battery died while I was making this video. So this is where we ended off. Had the Griffey, had the gold. And let's continue on and see what other cards we can find out of this pack right here, and finish that one off and moving on to the next pack. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, that's crazy because I started filming and I didn't even think about looking at the battery on my phone before I started. So, all right, there's the match the game once again. Todd Van Poppel, Bobby Witt Sr. there. Junior's dad. Dante Bichette. Bo Bichette's dad. And a nice George Brett Hall of Famer there. All right. So we are about almost three-quarters of the way through the box is what I meant to say. Yeah, match the game once again. Still haven't seen, that's a nice Jim Tomei. Still haven't seen a Manny Ramirez or even a Sean Green, huh? Nice Roger Clemens, Justice. I feel like we've seen those guys already in this video. Mark Whitten there. All right. So O-Pee-Chee, you know how O-Pee-Chee usually comes out with their sets as well. This is actually the third year. 92 was the third year that O-Pee-Chee had made a full set of this 792 cards, as opposed to usually they'll pick and choose, as Chuck Knobloch again. Usually they will pick and choose. Here we go. There we go. You know, and make their sets usually smaller than the regular. But like I said, they produce it. And this was the third year and the final year that O-Pee-Chee actually did their a set based off of the Topps flagship set, because then in 93 they ended up doing a their own O-Pee-Chee sets. Another Kirby Puckett right there. Packs are definitely interesting. That's a third Bernie Williams in this box now. Whoop. I guess we could use that as the drop of the video right there. Knocking the pack over here. And there's a draft pick. Be nice to also see that Brian Taylor draft pick. There's a Sean Green. Nice. Good card right there. Draft pick card. And Steve Sachs. Movon ends that one. The other thing about O-Pee-Chee that I saw was that that I remember is that 92, then they had the O-Pee-Chee, which I never realized, but in 90 and 91, they went with the Topps logo, but the back was still in French. You know, the French English. Nice. Nolan Ryan record breaker right there. Harold Baines. So yeah, if you're ever, thumbing through some Commons boxes and you come across 90 or 91, flip them around because they could be O-Pee-Chees. You won't know until you check the back where that's where it'll say, O-Pee-Chee Printed Canada, as opposed to the Topps USA. What in the world? Got my packs all wrong. Nice Barry Bonds All-Star card right there. Aaron Seeley. And almost passed up on a Paul Molitor Hall of Famer. Tom Kelly, Chili Davis, Paul Abbott. And then they also had the Topps Micro set. I don't know if you guys remember those. Those were like it's like an inch by like an inch and a quarter or something. They were small cards. Nice Ron Gant All-Star card. And I think that set was it had an extra 12 cards in it. I think there was a bonus gold set in that. And instead of just the name that was in gold, I think the overall card had like a gold foil to it. Goose. Old looking Goose. Nice Ricky Henderson right there. And that had, that had like star players from back in the day, like Nolan Ryan, Ricky Henderson, I believe Ken Griffey Jr. Of course, my man Don Mattingly had one as well. So that one was kind of neat. Nice Ryan Sandberg there. Yeah, they really they really capitalized on anything they possibly could to make some money. Get that money. All right, Match the Star. We got 2 packs left after this one. Ruben Sierra, we'll throw him in there. Pete Harnish. Webster. Offerman. Wood and Joe Torre. Joe Torre's actually a Hall of Famer. Yes, sir. Put Joe Torre in the stack. All right. What do we got? There he is. Nice. Brian Taylor. Dang shame. That's a good looking card. What would have been? Who knows? We will never know. We will never find out. Oh, Mike Mussina almost passed up on a Hall of Famer. So coming down to the last pack, let's see if we can find a Manny Ramirez rookie, even a Chipper Jones second-year card in here. He's got that, I think, was it the draft pick card in here? Not the draft pick. It's the prospect card. Sorry. Not his rookie like I had mentioned. There he goes. Nice Craig Biggio. And can we find it? Either one of those two would be pretty cool to end the video, but it's not looking like so. There's a nice Cal Ripken. Don't think we've seen him yet. We're going to end with Alex Fernandez. And our gold card is, who was it again? Skeeter Barnes, I think? Yeah, Skeeter Barnes. Looks better over there. You can see the gold much better. Anyway, that's it. I appreciate you watching as usual. And with that, I'll leave you with this. One man's junk wax, another man's treasure. Take care.